Hello viewers, my name is Chase Clover, and I'm back with the intensity reviews. Zach took my place last week because I was in the Bahamas, and I was on vacation. So I was on vacation, and I know you haven't gotten a full intensity review for a few weeks now. I know that 3 weeks ago I put out an intensity review that I had to take down, and I can't put back up because I don't have it any longer. I had to delete it from YouTube because I didn't know if there was enough storage space to keep it on there. And I know last week, or I know 2 weeks ago, I had to keep it short because I didn't have enough storage. And I know last week Zach couldn't really do a review because he's a USW performer, so he's not really able to put out or put his thoughts into USW related things, because then people would actually, think that that's what's going to happen and think that he knows something that they don't or that USW does not. So I know that he kind of has a big feeling about that. So you can't really blame him for not really wanting to. But I think that it is a I think it's a good idea for him not to put out full intensity review, just because of his status. I'll be right back. Alright, so, let me put in my intro again. Hello viewers, my name is Chase Clover, and this is my review on the November 26th, 2014 edition of USW Wednesday Night Intensity number 98. This Sunday is Bullet Proof VII, so this was the go-home show to Bullet Proof VII, or go-home show to Bullet Proof VII. I will be putting out a preview and prediction videos by Saturday, so look forward to that, or don't, it's up to you. And this show was pretty good. For the past few weeks, USW's been doing some good work with their shows. They've been putting a lot more effort into it, and it's been more interesting. It's been more it's drawn more attention, and it's been very beneficial to them via their storylines, their scripts, and their rivalries and feuds. So Bulletproof VII should be pretty good, based off the hype that they've been working towards. And I know they work extra hard with Bulletproof VII and Cold Greatness. Bulletproof and Cold Greatness. They work somewhat hard as well with Capital Carnage and Ultimate Consequence. But this is well booked. Their pay-per-view should be good based off the hype that they've gotten, and this was a good intensity. So it was a good go-home show to Bulletproof VII, and so let's get underway. So we open the show with Ezra Hills and Benny Franklin talking about their need to have a confrontation with Enigma before their match at Bulletproof VII. Kyle Reese comes out and grants their request, and for the past 2 or 3 weeks, Kyle Reese has come out and he's been working with the Enigma and Ezra Hills / Benny Franklin storyline, and he's actually been doing pretty well. You wouldn't have expected the owner of a promotion like Vince McMahon with the WWE. You wouldn't have expected that kind of person to be able to have a good promo, and for the past 3 weeks, Kyle Reese has done that pretty well. He's been able to choose his words properly, and has been able to, hold this storyline together in specific aspects. And he also said that he was going to be in Enigma's corner during the confrontation, much like Benny Franklin was going to be in Ezra Hills' corner in the confrontation. So they go on with that, and that's pretty much what happens. That's how that storyline ends. And we jump into the first match, which was TJ with Wilbur defeating Prophecy with Cannon. Wilbur was in TJ's corner, and Cannon was in Prophecy's corner. TJ hit the double hook DDT on Prophecy for the win via pinfall, and it was a good match. It was very riveting, and it was a good contested match. TJ and Prophecy, I don't know how to say this. TJ has been the star of his team with Wilbur, and Prophecy and Cannon have been on a losing streak for the past couple of weeks. And the losing streak continued last night, and TJ walked away with the win, and Cannon got in the ring and told Prophecy, look, I have these tag team championships are on our waists. We need to win on Sunday. We've been on a losing streak since, I think, October 1st. And we need to make sure that we go into Bullet Proof VII with the win and go in with Bullet Proof VII with the tag team championships and come out with the tag team championships and a win. And then he walked away with Prophecy kind of standing in the ring with, this burden on his shoulders. And I like how they're setting up this, what I'm expecting to be a Cannon heel turn this Sunday on Prophecy. I like how they're building up to it. I think it makes it more interesting, and it makes it more entertaining to see the story and the road to this turn. And I think they're doing it well. So I give them credit for that, and I'm looking forward to the match at Bullet Proof VII. Still don't know what will happen if they win or not, but, only time will tell, and we'll find out on Sunday. Afterwards, we have an interview with Enigma, and based off of what happened at the end of Intensity, it looks like this will be the final interview with Enigma, and one of the final promos that Enigma ever has, as Enigma, and we'll get into that towards the end of the show. And he talked about how he's not going into Bullet Proof VII against two competitors. He's going into Bullet Proof VII with two big mouths, two people who just whine and complain about everything. And then he said that they'll have another thing to whine and complain about after Sunday is over, when they walk out empty-handed, just the way that they walked in. And I think that was pretty interesting. I thought that was a good choice of words by Enigma, and I felt that it really helped build the storyline even more in their final night of this ability, or the final night that they were able to build up a storyline. Afterwards, we jumped to the second match, which was Titanfall defeating Anarchy. He had the neckfall on Anarchy after reversing the elbow to the head, and pinned him for the win. Apparently, Anarchy escaped Ash's kidnap or whatever early in the week, and it made no sense because you didn't see it, so it makes it harder to enjoy, or to it makes it harder to be believable when it comes to this storyline, when it comes to fans. Like, I didn't see them break out, so how would they, give us more details or whatever? And, it raises questions, and it's been very confusing the way that the Blue Belt Championship and the Blue Belt Championship and the Extreme Championship have been intertwined together, with, Blue Belt Champion facing Extreme Champion, or contenders facing each other, or contender versus champion, something along those lines. And it makes it uninteresting, but I like what they do after the matches, although I feel like they can do more without the match itself. The match kind of takes away from the rivalry, and the Extreme Championship and the Blue Belt Championship don't mix. That's why they're not the same championship. So that's what I'm going to say about that. And then afterwards, Ash attacked Anarchy and stole the Blue Belt Championship. He then ran through the backstage area and into his car and drove away. I don't know what's going to happen at Bullet Proof VII. Maybe they're going to say, oh, Anarchy stole it back, and have another confusing scene. But, we'll find out at Bullet Proof VII, just like we'll find out a lot of things. And they ended up, afterwards they talked about how at the end of Intensity next week, so that means at 11, let me try to say the way they said. At 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Pacific, and 9 p.m. Mountain Time. That's what next Sunday, voting will close for the awards ceremony, so you have less than 1 week until the voting closes to put in your votes. And I'll just put a little infomercial, or a little, I don't know what to call it, but to vote, you have to sign up and pay for a membership with USW, which thousands, maybe millions of people have already done. So, yeah, just do that. Anyway, we jump into the third match on the card, which was Gringo and Fernandez defeating Mojigata and Western Light. Fernandez hit the Dez on Mojigata and pinned him for the win. Something that we don't see often was, the champion versus the challenger in a tag match, and it was Fernandez beating down a Western Light, and Western Light tagged in Mojigata, so it was a Mojigata and Fernandez stare down, and I kind of expected Fernandez to tag in Gringo, but no, they actually went with it, and Mojigata and Fernandez fought. Mojigata took the upper hand for most of the match, and it ended with Fernandez hitting Dez on Mojigata and pinning him for the win. It wasn't lackluster. It wasn't lackluster at all. I felt like it was a good attempt at creating more hype, but I feel like there was enough hype as it was, and that this wasn't necessary. But I did enjoy it, and I did enjoy something different. So it just shows that USW actually has the balls to have these two performers fight before the match at Bullet Proof VII. I don't know if it's because it's not a main event match or something like that, but, only time will tell. Only time will tell, how they book their matches in the future. I know one of my favorite quotes is "only time will tell," ... so, yeah. Anyway, we see Fernandez and Gringo dragging Mojigata and Western Light to the parking lot afterwards and throwing them outside the doors in the snow, telling them that was going to happen on Sunday. Everything that happened in their match and after the match was going to happen on Sunday, so I believe it. I think that Fernandez has a much greater chance against Mojigata than he did before, and I'm liking Fernandez's chance. What I really don't like about the match, I'll get into this more on my preview and prediction video, but I don't like the Western Light and Gringo in their corners. I just feel like it takes away from the chances of a clean finish, and that's just not what I like in a match. I like it to be fair and competitive and go down to the very end without interference or disqualification. But we'll just find out when it comes to Bullet Proof VII. We go into the fourth match, which was Simon Saint with James in his corner defeating Chris Ross with Philip Baccarin in his corner after hitting the diving elbow to the head and pinning Chris Ross with a roll-up for the win. It was a competitive match. Chris Ross took advantage of his opportunities, but Simon Saint was the one that took advantage of the match for the most part. And it was really interesting to see the finish, and I liked the finish. And then afterwards, Simon Saint and James attacked Chris Ross and Philip Baccarin with chairs through the crowd and outside the front doors. A lot of outdoor action, a lot of outdoor fighting today, getting thrown out the front doors or running away with the championship and driving away, or just being beaten up until you ran out the front doors. Something along those lines. It was pretty funny and pretty interesting to watch. Simon Saint and James, I'm not sure how to feel about them as a heel performers or as face performers, because they're using heel tactics, yet they're, celebrating with the fan, or celebrating or posing with the fans, and the fans are, cheering for them. So I'm not sure if the character are supposed to be heel or face, based off of what they're doing or what they're using to win. But I'm just watching and seeing what transpires between these four competitors, and seeing where their rivalries go and what directions they go into. Next up, we have a fifth match, and it was Greyhound and Lone Wolf defeating CED and ED. I liked the idea of Greyhound and Lone Wolf. I thought it was definitely interesting. I thought it was the kind of match where I think it was the kind of match where you had an impromptu tag team, but I feel like they did really well. And Greyhound hit the Hound Dog on ED for the pinfall win. So Greyhound and Lone Wolf came up victorious against former unified USW tag team champions. which the championships are now called the USW Tag Team Championships, not the Unified USW Tag Team Championships. I don't know why. I'll try to find out more and give you an update as to why, but for the meantime, it's called the USW Tag Team Championships. But Greyhound has had his return to USW, teaming with Lone Wolf for the win. So I like this team. I like their gimmicks together. Lone Wolf and Greyhound, wolves and hound dogs and all that. I like the gimmick and the potential team names that they have. I think it'd be pretty cool. So yeah, Greyhound with his return, and he looked impressive. So he didn't really miss a beat. Afterwards, we saw BP Fierce attacking Lane and running away backstage when Lane grabbed a steel chair. And I don't know what they're doing with the Lane BP Fierce rivalry, but it's getting a little confusing, and that's not much more to it. And then the sixth match and the main event on the match, it did not feature the USW World Championship or the USW Championship picture at all. It was the main event, BP Fierce defeating Alex. Fierce hit the twirl line for the win, and different type of main event, something that you wouldn't really expect, just a random mid-card main event on intensity. It was definitely interesting, definitely something worth watching and worth noticing. And afterwards, Lane attacked BP Fierce with a chair and put him through a table, the announce table, and that is how we ended that match. And we ended up with a scene to end the show for the first time in I don't know how long, but we had not seen a match end intensity in a very, very long time. I mean, we haven't seen a scene to end intensity in a very, very long time. And the scene obviously was Enigma and Ezra and Kills with Benny Franklin in his corner confronting each other at the same time. Well, Ezra and Kills and Benny Franklin brought some points, but Enigma was what really stood out. He said how, if you really think that it was a coincidence that, Canon and Prophecy just thought that, or remembered that they had a tag team championship rematch in their contract, and that they just decided to put it in after Capital and he beat them up, then that must be crazy. It would have been such a coincidence, huh? And he just kind of made it sarcastic and kind of made it, he made it funny. So, props to Enigma for that. And Kyle Reese has been, obviously, as I said before, pulling this storyline even closer together for interest. And he also said in the night and Enigma brought this up in the confrontation as well. That if when Ezra and Kills and Benny Franklin lost at Bullet Proof VII, they would not get a USW championship match again, as long as Enigma was in this reign that he has right now. And that was definitely something that added on to the match at Bullet Proof VII. And it ended with Enigma actually bringing up something personal, and it was him talking about how he couldn't finish anything. He couldn't finish the match last week, and he won't be able to finish a fight that he starts tonight or at Bullet Proof VII, just like he couldn't finish off anything with his on-again, off-again girlfriend. And then he said something about how his bed must get very lonely at night. And then he said, "Oh, don't worry, Benny must help you out with that every night." And then the fans just started going like, "Oh boy, this is going to transpire into a fight." And some of them just started cheering and laughing as Enigma went on. And then he even brought up how Ezra and Kills was clenching his fist ready for a fight. And then Ezra and Kills started moving the table from the middle of the ring. And Enigma told Clarice to get out of the ring. And then he just threw the microphone on the ground, threw the USW title on the ground, and went to fight. And then Ezra and Kills and Benny Franklin started attacking Enigma. Enigma fought back and speared them both. He put Benny Franklin on the table and put on the Hardy face plant on Ezra and Kills, threw Benny Franklin through the table. And then he grabbed the microphone, got the title, and said, "You couldn't finish anything, could ya?" And then he said, "I and put the emphasis on I will be back at Bullet Proof VII. That's exactly what he said. And then he raised the title and then lowered it and looked at the camera, held his finger up like, hold on, turned around, grabbed his mask, took it off, threw it on the ground, turned around, and then you see Enigma without the face mask, or without the mask, holding the championship up, standing over Ezra and Kills and Benny Franklin. And what a better way to end Intensity than with the return of Zack Hardy. That was definitely a very good show, and I'm definitely looking forward to Zack Hardy versus Ezra and Kills at Bullet Proof VII. I'm ready. I'm ready for the return of Zack Hardy. So, anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This was my review on the November 26th, 2014 edition of USW Wednesday Night Intensity number 98. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, all viewers, for watching. Remember to like, favorite, and subscribe for more. I'm Chase Clover, signing off. Oh, and one more thing before I end this video, as I just cut the video off and turn it back on, something that I did not like about the Intensity was that it did not feature capital or DHIG, so the World Championship picture did not get any more hype added to it, but I think it does have enough hype to it, so I just wanted to mention that, and to tell you why I did not mention capital and DHIG on the show, because they were not on the card. So, nothing about the World Championship picture was involved on Intensity, so that's why they were not brought up. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Viewers for watching. Remember to like, favorite, and subscribe for more. I'm Chase Clover, signing off.